What if I told you that for just 1 second, everything stopped? Not just your clock, not just your phone, but time itself, the entire universe frozen in place. No movement, no sound, no light, just complete stillness. Sounds insane, right? But here's the real question. What would actually happen if time stopped for just 1 second? Would you feel it? Would the world change? Or would we never even know? Stick around, because what you're about to hear will make you question everything you thought you knew about reality. Are you ready to dive into the impossible? Let's find out. The nature of time and perception. Imagine if time suddenly stopped, just for a single second. Sounds harmless, right? But hold on, because time isn't just a ticking clock. It's the very thing that keeps reality in motion. From the way we breathe to the way light travels, everything is governed by time. But what if, for a brief moment, time completely froze? Would we even notice it? Well, here's the crazy part. You wouldn't. Your brain, like everything else, relies on time to function. Every thought, every memory, every movement you make depends on time moving forward. If time paused, so would your neurons. Your brain wouldn't even get the chance to register that something strange had happened. Imagine blinking, but in that brief moment everything, your heartbeat, your thoughts, even the air around you, completely stopped. And yet, when time resumed, you'd continue as if nothing had happened. Think about it like a video game freezing for a second due to lag. The game doesn't realize it's frozen, it just picks up where it left off. The same would happen to you. But here's a fun twist. If time stopped, would light stop too? That means, even if your eyes were open, you wouldn't see anything. The entire world would be trapped in absolute darkness for that one frozen second. And if we go deeper, this raises an even wilder question. If time stopped, but you somehow remained aware, would you feel like you were stuck in eternity? 1 second might stretch into an infinite abyss. Spooky, right? Luckily, your brain won't let you experience that. So, in reality, the biggest mystery of all is, did time ever stop before, and if it did, how would we even know? Physical implications of a time freeze. Let's say, time halts. You're in the middle of drinking coffee and suddenly, BAM! Time stops. The coffee mid-air freezes, the steam rising from the cup, suspended like an invisible sculpture. But the real question is, what happens on a deeper level? First off, all movement in the universe would come to a standstill. Atoms would stop vibrating, which means heat would cease to exist. Every object from your body to the sun would instantly drop to absolute zero. But here's the twist, you wouldn't feel cold. Why? Because you wouldn't even be able to process the change. Your nerves wouldn't work, your brain wouldn't function, and even your very thoughts would be put on hold. Then, there's light. Light moves at 299,792,458 meters per second. But if time stopped, light wouldn't move at all. That means the entire universe would be trapped in absolute darkness. Even if the sun was shining, its rays wouldn't reach your eyes until time resumed. Imagine someone flipping a switch and shutting off all light instantly. Except in this case, it's not just the lights in your room, it's every photon in existence. And here's where it gets weirder. What about air? Normally, air molecules zip around, allowing you to breathe. But if time froze, they'd stop moving too. That means for that 1 second, oxygen wouldn't reach your lungs, but don't panic. You wouldn't suffocate because, well, your lungs wouldn't be working either. Time would unfreeze, and you'd continue as if nothing happened. So, the next time you take a deep breath, look at the sky, or feel warmth on your skin, just remember, time is what makes it all possible. And if it ever stopped, even for just a second, the entire universe would hold its breath with you. Biological effects on living organisms. Let's talk about life itself. Your heart, your breath, your very existence. Everything in your body depends on time moving forward. But what happens if time stops for just 1 second? Would you feel it? Would it harm you? Here's the surprising answer: no, you wouldn't feel a thing. That's because the biological processes inside you are just as tied to time as everything else. Your heart beats, your blood flows, and your cells divide. All of these depend on time's steady movement. If time stops, so do you. It's like hitting the pause button on a movie. Nothing changes, but nothing moves either. Your body would be frozen in place, your brain would stop thinking, and even your sense of awareness would be suspended. And here's the freaky part. If everything about you stopped, you wouldn't even know time had paused in the first place. Your body wouldn't age, your cells wouldn't decay, and technically you wouldn't even be alive in that moment, but once time resumes, your body picks up right where it left off, as if nothing ever happened. But here's where things get really strange. Imagine you're blinking right when time stops. Your eyelids would freeze mid-motion, leaving your vision locked in place. If you were walking, your muscles would be frozen in action, defying physics for just a split second. And what about people in mid-sneeze? Would they be stuck with the world's longest ah-chew? The truth is, time's flow is what keeps all living things functioning. If time ever stopped, even briefly, life itself would hold its breath, waiting for the next second to arrive. And yet, because we experience time so seamlessly, we'll never know if it's already happened before. Technological and mechanical consequences. Now let's talk about the world around us. Machines, vehicles, the internet, and all the technology we rely on daily. If time stopped, would your phone glitch? Would planes fall from the sky? Would your favorite video game freeze mid-frame? The short answer, yes, but only for that brief second. Every piece of technology we use operates based on time. Clocks tick forward, computers process data, and electricity flows through circuits. All of it requires time to function, so if time stopped, everything electronic would pause too. Your phone screen would freeze mid-scroll, your Wi-Fi would halt, and even the electrical signals running through power lines would be suspended. Now, here's a mind-blowing thought. Cars, planes, and trains all rely on movement through time. If time stops, a speeding car wouldn't crash, because it wouldn't be moving at all in that moment. A plane in midair would hang in place, defying gravity for that 1 second. The entire world would be a frozen snapshot, paused in perfect stillness. And what about artificial intelligence? Could a supercomputer realize that time had paused? Not a chance. Just like our brains, AI needs time to process information. If time stops, it stops thinking too. It wouldn't detect the pause because, in its reality, there was no pause. The moment time resumes, it continues processing as if nothing happened. And here's where it gets even wilder. Would digital timekeeping devices skip a second, or would they stay perfectly accurate? Since they rely on electrical pulses that measure time, a 1-second stop might throw them off ever so slightly. But in a world where time is back on track, who would even notice? So the next time your computer lags or your phone screen freezes for a second, just ask yourself, what if time actually did stop for a second and we all just missed it? Psychological and philosophical considerations. Alright, let's get deep for a second. If time stops, do we stop existing? Think about it. Our entire experience of reality is tied to time. Every thought, memory, and feeling happens in a sequence. But what if time itself was put on pause? Would we even be aware of it? Here's the trippy part. You wouldn't even realize that time had stopped. Your consciousness, your awareness, your very sense of self would be frozen, just like everything else. It's like someone pressing pause on the universe. The second time resumes, everything picks up where it left off, and you have no clue anything ever happened. It's a bit unsettling, isn't it? Now let's push this even further. What if time has already stopped before? Maybe it pauses for a second every few thousand years and we just don't know it. Maybe right now, time has stopped, and you're frozen in place, unable to perceive the stillness. And the moment it resumes, well, you're right back to reading this sentence as if nothing happened. Then there's the ultimate question. If time stops, does reality still exist? Time and space are deeply connected, meaning if time ceases, does the universe even remain? It's a classic philosophical paradox. Does reality require time to exist, or could the universe just hang in place, waiting to move again? And if we go even crazier, what if time isn't real at all? What if time is just a human-made construct and the universe moves in ways we can't even comprehend? Maybe we're living in a cosmic illusion where time is just an illusion of motion. If that's the case, then stopping time wouldn't just freeze the world. It might break the very foundation of reality itself. 1 second. That's all it would take to change everything. Or maybe it already has. Theoretical physics perspectives. Now let's get scientific, because if anyone can explain what happens when time stops, it's physicists. But here's the kicker. According to physics, time stopping shouldn't even be possible. Time isn't just a background setting, it's woven into the very fabric of the universe, tied to space itself. Stopping time would mean disrupting space-time, which could have insane consequences. For starters, Einstein's theory of relativity tells us that time is relative. It speeds up or slows down depending on gravity and motion. But completely stopping time? That's next level. If time froze, space-time itself would be affected. Would the universe continue existing in a paused state? Would everything collapse into chaos? And let's talk about quantum mechanics, the science of the tiniest particles. On a quantum level, particles are always in motion, constantly shifting and vibrating. If time stopped, these particles would freeze in place. That means no atomic activity, no light movement, no energy transfers, literally nothing happening. It's a complete shutdown of the universe at its most fundamental level. But wait, it gets weirder. Some physicists argue that time is just an illusion. According to certain theories, time isn't something that moves. It's just a way we perceive changes in the universe. If that's true, then stopping time wouldn't actually do anything because there's nothing to stop in the first place. Mind blown yet? So let's sum this up. If time stops everything, energy, motion, thought, light ceases. But since time itself is part of space-time, freezing time might be impossible without breaking reality itself. And if it ever did happen, we wouldn't even know. So the real question is, what if time has already stopped, but we're just living in its resumed state? What if we're part of a cosmic play button being pressed over and over? Maybe time itself is the biggest mystery of all, and we're just along for the ride. And that, my friends, is the mind-bending reality of time. Did time ever stop before? Would we even know? The universe is full of mysteries, and this is just the beginning. If you love diving into mind-blowing theories like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. What do you think would happen if time stopped? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is InnoVision Tech, and I'll see you in the next one. In 1960, two men descended nearly 36,000 feet into the Mariana Trench, Earth's deepest, darkest frontier. It wasn't just a dive, it was a plunge into the unknown, where light vanishes and pressure crushes steel. Even today, this abyss remains more alien to us than the surface of Mars. Despite decades of exploration, the trench hides secrets we've barely begun to uncover. Life forms defying logic, ecosystems untouched by time. So, if you were there, surrounded by silence and shadow, what would you feel? Let's uncover what really lies beneath the ocean's surface and why it still haunts human imagination. A journey into the abyss. Imagine standing at the edge of the world, staring into an endless blue void where the surface shimmers but the bottom remains hidden in pure darkness. Now picture yourself diving headfirst into that vast unknown, deeper and deeper until the sunlight fades away completely. And you're surrounded by a world so silent, so crushing, so alien, that it feels like you've left Earth entirely. Welcome to the Mariana Trench, the deepest, darkest mystery of the ocean. It's not just a trench, it's a gaping scar on our planet's surface, deeper than Mount Everest is tall. Few humans have dared to visit this hidden world. It's a place where normal rules don't apply, where pressure can crush a human-made submarine like a soda can, and temperatures are barely above freezing. But despite its terrifying reputation, the Mariana Trench also holds secrets. Secrets that could teach us about life in extreme environments, about Earth's past, and maybe even about life beyond our planet. Are you ready to journey into the unknown, where reality bends, and the impossible becomes possible? Because once you cross that invisible threshold, there's no going back. Let's dive deeper, both literally and figuratively, into this uncharted abyss where mystery reigns supreme, and the ocean guards its darkest secrets. The geography and depth of the trench. If you pulled out a world map and looked east of the Philippines, you'd spot a small chain of islands, the Marianas. Hidden beneath these islands is something far more massive and mysterious, the Mariana Trench. Stretching over 1,580 miles long, about the distance from New York to Dallas, and around 45 miles wide, this trench is Earth's ultimate deep dive. But the real crown jewel of this abyss is the Challenger Deep, the deepest known point on Earth's seafloor. How deep is it? Try a mind-boggling 36,070 feet, that's nearly 7 miles down. To put that in perspective, if you dropped Mount Everest into the Mariana Trench, its peak would still be submerged by more than a mile of water. It's almost incomprehensible, right? Yet this trench isn't just a single dip. It's a dynamic landscape with ridges, valleys, and slopes sharper than anything we find on dry land. It's like an underwater Grand Canyon, but far more massive and far more terrifying. And here's something wild. Scientists believe there may be even deeper spots nearby that are still unmapped. The trench sits in one of the most geologically active regions on Earth, constantly shifting, evolving, and hiding more mysteries under its crushing darkness. What secrets still lie hidden in those unreachable depths? We're just scratching the surface. Geological formation and features. Let's rewind the clock. Millions of years ago, Earth's surface wasn't the quiet, steady land we know. It was alive, shifting, groaning, and tearing apart like a living creature. That's how the Mariana Trench was born, out of a violent dance between two colossal plates of Earth's crust. Here, the mighty Pacific Plate is slowly but relentlessly diving beneath the smaller Mariana Plate in a process called subduction. Imagine one giant slab of rock sliding underneath another, disappearing into the molten depths of our planet. That sinking action carved out the enormous trench we know today, but it didn't stop there. The collision created an entire chain of underwater volcanoes called the Mariana Arc, a fiery, hidden landscape few have ever seen. Some of these volcanoes are active, constantly spewing minerals and gases into the deep sea. Others are extinct, sitting silently like forgotten monuments in the abyss. Strange features like mud volcanoes and hydrothermal vents, basically underwater geysers, dot the trench, pouring scalding hot water and strange chemicals into the icy ocean. It's a wild, alien world down there, sculpted by forces beyond human imagination. The ground itself creaks and shifts constantly. It's a reminder that beneath the calm blue surface of our oceans, a titanic battle is always raging, shaping our planet, one slow, invisible inch at a time. Extreme conditions. Picture yourself 7 miles underwater. It's pitch black. The cold bites at your skin, and every inch of your body feels like it's being crushed by a monstrous force you can't escape. Welcome to the reality of the Mariana Trench. Down here, the pressure is more than 1,000 times what you feel at sea level. That's like balancing 50 jumbo jets on top of you, at once. No human could survive it without heavy-duty technology. And if you think it's warm down there because of the volcanoes, think again. Temperatures hover just above freezing, a brutal, unforgiving chill that seeps into everything. The combination of crushing pressure and bone-numbing cold creates an environment that is almost completely hostile to life as we know it. Yet somehow, life finds a way. Specialized creatures have evolved biological superpowers, flexible bones, pressure-resistant cells, and metabolism adapted to an energy-starved world. It's almost like another planet right here on Earth. Scientists even believe studying these extreme conditions could unlock secrets about how life might exist on other worlds, like the frozen oceans of Jupiter's moon Europa. But for now, most of us can only wonder and respect the immense power of the deep. It's a world where survival means mastering the impossible, every single moment. Unique and mysterious life forms. You might think the Mariana Trench is a lifeless wasteland, but you'd be wrong. Down there, in the pitch-black cold and mind-crushing pressure, life has adapted in ways so bizarre they almost seem like creatures from a sci-fi movie. Meet the Mariana snailfish, the deepest dwelling fish ever discovered. It's small, ghostly white, and so fragile-looking you'd never guess it can withstand such unimaginable pressure. Then there are the amphipods, shrimp-like creatures that survive by scavenging whatever organic matter drifts down from the surface. Some of them are coated with strange, pressure-resistant exoskeletons that scientists are still trying to fully understand. And don't forget the xenophyophores, gigantic single-celled organisms that look like alien fossils scattered across the seafloor. These lifeforms thrive by embracing the impossible, enduring toxic chemicals, darkness, and crushing forces that would kill most other organisms instantly. What's even crazier? We've barely scratched the surface. Every expedition reveals new, unknown species hiding in the trench's hidden pockets and valleys. It's like a living, breathing mystery box, offering glimpses into how life can survive under the harshest conditions imaginable. Some researchers even believe that studying these creatures might offer clues to how life could exist in the icy depths of alien oceans across the galaxy. The deeper we look, the more we realize life is far more adaptable and more wondrous than we ever imagined. Human exploration and discoveries. For most of human history, the Mariana Trench was just a shadowy rumor, a place we knew existed but dared not explore. That changed in 1960, when Swiss oceanographer Jacques Piccard and U.S. Navy Lieutenant Don Walsh took a daring plunge aboard the bathyscaphe Trieste. In a cramped steel sphere barely big enough for two, they descended nearly 36,000 feet into the Challenger Deep. The pressure outside was so intense that the tiny windows cracked, but they made it, witnessing a seabed covered in thick silt and strange creatures. Fast forward to 2012, when filmmaker James Cameron, yes, the Titanic and Avatar director, made a historic solo dive, reaching the Challenger Deep in his specially designed submersible, the Deep Sea Challenger. Cameron's journey wasn't just for glory. He brought back three-dimensional footage, valuable scientific samples, and new discoveries that rewrote our understanding of the deep sea. Since then, unmanned submersibles and robotic vehicles have continued to probe the trench, discovering ecosystems fueled by chemical reactions rather than sunlight. But here's the wild part. We've explored Mars and the Moon in greater detail than we have explored the Mariana Trench. So while we've made historic strides, the trench remains a realm of mystery. Who knows what still lurks in its deepest shadows, waiting for the next brave soul to uncover its secrets. The future of deep-sea exploration. The Mariana Trench is not just a relic of Earth's past, it's the frontier of tomorrow's discoveries. As technology advances at lightning speed, our ability to explore these crushing depths improves, opening doors to mysteries once thought unreachable. New autonomous underwater vehicles and robotic submarines are being designed to withstand extreme pressure and dive deeper, longer, and with better precision than ever before. Scientists are gearing up for missions that could reveal unknown species, uncover rare minerals, and even shed light on how life can survive in the most hostile conditions. These explorations could have far-reaching implications, not only for oceanography but for medicine, biotechnology, and even the search for life beyond Earth. However, this exciting future also comes with responsibilities. The push to explore must be paired with careful stewardship to avoid damaging these fragile ecosystems. The choices we make now about how we explore and protect the deep ocean will shape what future generations inherit. The Mariana Trench stands at the crossroads of science, technology, and ethics, reminding us that the final frontiers of our planet still hold secrets, and the chance to inspire humanity's imagination and respect for nature in equal measure. Thank you for diving deep with us into the hidden world of the Mariana Trench. It's incredible how much mystery still exists right here on our own planet. What do you think could be lurking in the parts we haven't explored yet? Share your thoughts in the comments, we'd love to hear them. This is InnoVision Tech, bringing you closer to the wonders of science and exploration. And if you love discovering the mysteries of the universe and space, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more adventures. Antarctica's ice is melting faster than ever, losing about 136 billion tons each year, enough to fill millions of Olympic-sized swimming pools. This massive loss isn't just a distant problem, it's reshaping our planet right now. What if all of that ice suddenly vanished? The consequences would be staggering, from flooding coastal cities to disrupting global climate systems. Did you know that the last few years have seen Antarctic sea ice reach some of its lowest levels on record, signaling how rapidly this change is accelerating? Massive sea level rise. The melting of all Antarctica's ice would unleash one of the most dramatic transformations our planet has ever faced. Global sea levels would surge by an astonishing 58 meters, enough to swallow entire coastal cities and reshape continents. Imagine New York, London, or Tokyo submerged underwater, forcing millions to abandon their homes and seek refuge far inland. This isn't just a distant nightmare, it's a chain reaction that would ripple across the globe. The sudden flood of fresh water into the oceans would disrupt critical ocean currents like the Gulf Stream, which regulate climate in Europe and North America. Without these currents, weather patterns would become wildly unpredictable, triggering severe storms, prolonged droughts, and shifting ecosystems. The loss of Antarctic ice would also mean the disappearance of habitats for unique wildlife such as penguins and seals, pushing many species toward extinction. On top of that, vast amounts of trapped greenhouse gases like methane could be released, accelerating global warming in a dangerous feedback loop. Economically, the damage would be staggering. Ports, infrastructure, and industries along coastlines would face ruin, costing trillions worldwide. The ocean's altered salinity would disrupt marine life and fisheries, threatening food supplies for millions. Even Earth's rotation and tilt could subtly shift due to the redistribution of mass, influencing day length and climate. The human toll would be immense, with mass migrations and geopolitical tensions over shrinking habitable land. Antarctica's role as a carbon sink would vanish, worsening climate change, while geological shifts might trigger earthquakes as the land rebounds from lost ice weight. This scenario reveals how deeply interconnected our planet's systems are, and how fragile our future could be if Antarctica's ice were to vanish. Global climate disruption. The sudden melting of Antarctica's ice wouldn't just raise sea levels, it would throw the entire global climate system into chaos. Ocean currents, like the Gulf Stream, act as Earth's climate conveyor belts, distributing heat from the tropics to the poles and regulating weather worldwide. When massive amounts of fresh water from melting ice flood into the oceans, these currents slow down or even shut off. This disruption could cause Europe to experience harsher winters despite global warming, while parts of Africa and Asia might suffer from severe droughts. Hurricanes and typhoons could become more intense and unpredictable, wreaking havoc on vulnerable communities. The balance of heat and moisture in the atmosphere would be shattered, triggering extreme weather events across continents. This sudden shift could also destabilize the polar jet stream, causing prolonged heat waves or cold spells in unexpected places. The ripple effects would extend beyond just weather. Agriculture, water supplies, and ecosystems would all feel the strain. crops might fail due to unpredictable rainfall, and freshwater resources could dwindle or become contaminated. The interconnectedness of our climate means that what happens in Antarctica doesn't stay in Antarctica. It's a stark reminder that the planet's delicate systems depend on balance, and tipping that balance could lead to a cascade of consequences that affect every corner of the globe. Understanding this helps us see why protecting Antarctica's ice isn't just about preserving a remote continent, it's about safeguarding the climate stability that billions of people rely on every day. Loss of habitat. Antarctica's ice is home to some of the most extraordinary wildlife on Earth, and its sudden disappearance would be devastating for these creatures. Penguins, seals, and countless microscopic organisms depend on the frozen landscape for breeding, feeding, and shelter. Without the ice, these animals would lose their habitats almost overnight. Penguins, for example, rely on sea ice to rest and raise their young, and seals use it as a safe platform away from predators. The loss of ice would force these species to migrate or adapt quickly. But many may not survive the rapid changes. This disruption would ripple through the food chain, affecting predators and prey alike. The disappearance of Antarctic ice would also impact marine ecosystems, as the cold, nutrient-rich waters around the continent support a vast array of life, from krill to whales. Krill, tiny shrimp-like creatures, are a crucial food source for many Antarctic animals, and their populations depend on the ice for breeding grounds. Without ice, krill numbers would plummet, threatening the survival of species that rely on them. This ecological collapse would not only affect Antarctica, but could have global consequences, as many migratory species depend on these waters for part of their life cycles. The sudden loss of ice is more than just a local environmental disaster. It's a blow to biodiversity that echoes around the planet, reminding us how interconnected life is and how vulnerable it becomes when key habitats vanish. Release of methane and carbon. One of the most alarming consequences of Antarctica's ice melting is the release of trapped greenhouse gases, particularly methane and carbon dioxide. For thousands of years, these gases have been locked beneath the ice and in the frozen soil known as permafrost. As the ice melts, these gases escape into the atmosphere, acting like a powerful amplifier for global warming. Methane, in particular, is over 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide in trapping heat, meaning even small releases can have a huge impact on the planet's temperature. This creates a dangerous feedback loop. Warming melts ice, releasing greenhouse gases, which then cause more warming and more melting. Scientists warn that this could accelerate climate change far beyond current predictions, making it harder to control rising temperatures. The sudden release of these gases could lead to more extreme weather, rising seas, and irreversible damage to ecosystems. It's a stark reminder that Antarctica isn't just a frozen wasteland, it's a critical regulator of Earth's climate. Losing its ice means losing a natural barrier that has kept greenhouse gases in check for millennia. This feedback loop highlights the urgency of addressing climate change before these hidden threats are unleashed, pushing the planet into a hotter, more unstable future. Economic impact. The economic fallout from Antarctica's ice melting would be nothing short of catastrophic. Coastal cities around the world are hubs of commerce, industry, and culture, and a sea level rise of nearly 60 meters would submerge many of them entirely. Ports, airports, factories, and homes would be lost, disrupting global trade and supply chains. The cost of rebuilding infrastructure inland would be astronomical, running into trillions of dollars, and many economies would struggle to recover. Insurance industries would collapse under the weight of claims, and governments would face unprecedented challenges in managing disaster relief and relocation efforts. Beyond infrastructure, entire industries like fishing and tourism would suffer as marine ecosystems collapse and popular destinations disappear underwater. The displacement of hundreds of millions of people would create humanitarian crises, with mass migrations putting pressure on resources and social systems far from the coasts. This economic ripple effect would touch every corner of the globe, highlighting how deeply interconnected human societies are with the natural world. The melting of Antarctica's ice isn't just an environmental issue, it's a looming economic disaster that could reshape the global order and test humanity's resilience like never before. Freshwater redistribution. The sudden influx of freshwater from Antarctica's melting ice would dramatically change the salinity of the world's oceans, with far-reaching consequences for marine life. Ocean salinity plays a crucial role in regulating the density and circulation of seawater, which in turn affects nutrient distribution and marine ecosystems. When vast amounts of fresh water dilute the saltiness of the oceans, it disrupts these delicate balances. Many marine species, from tiny plankton to large fish, rely on stable salinity levels to survive and reproduce. Changes in salinity can alter breeding cycles, migration patterns, and food availability, threatening the survival of countless species. Fisheries that millions depend on for food and livelihoods would face severe declines, impacting global food security. Coral reefs, already vulnerable to warming waters, could suffer further stress from altered salinity, leading to bleaching and loss of biodiversity. This shift in ocean chemistry would ripple through the entire marine food web, affecting not only sea creatures but also human communities that rely on the ocean's resources. The melting of Antarctic ice isn't just a local event, it's a global disruption that threatens the health and balance of our planet's oceans and the life they support. Changes in Earth's rotation. So, the redistribution of Antarctica's massive ice mass into the oceans wouldn't just raise sea levels, it could, subtly alter Earth's rotation and tilt. When such a huge amount of weight is removed from the continent and spread across the oceans, the planet's balance actually shifts. This process, called polar wander, means the Earth's axis could move slightly, changing the way the planet spins. Even small changes in Earth's rotation can affect day length by just milliseconds and influence climate patterns globally. Over time, these shifts could lead to changes in seasons, weather intensity, and the distribution of sunlight across the planet. While these effects might seem minor at first, they add another layer of complexity to the already chaotic climate impacts caused by melting ice. This subtle wobble of the planet reminds us that Earth's systems are deeply interconnected. What happens in one place can ripple through the entire globe, affecting everything from the length of our days to the climate zones where plants and animals thrive. Understanding these changes helps us appreciate the full scope of consequences that Antarctica's ice melt could unleash. Impact on human migration. The massive rise in sea levels caused by Antarctica's melting ice would trigger one of the largest human migrations in history. Coastal cities, home to billions, would become uninhabitable, forcing people to move inland or to higher ground. This mass displacement would create enormous humanitarian challenges, including shortages of food, clean water, and shelter. Governments would face the daunting task of relocating millions, often across borders, which could spark geopolitical tensions and conflicts over resources and territory. Infrastructure in safer areas would be overwhelmed, and social systems strained beyond their limits. The cultural and economic fabric of many communities would be torn apart, as people lose their homes, jobs, and ways of life. This migration wouldn't be a slow process. It could happen rapidly, leaving little time for preparation. The world would need unprecedented cooperation and planning to manage this crisis, highlighting how the melting of Antarctica's ice is not just an environmental issue, but a profound social and political challenge that could reshape human civilization. Antarctica's role in carbon storage lost. Antarctica plays a crucial role as a carbon sink, locking away vast amounts of carbon dioxide beneath its ice sheets. If all the ice were to melt, this natural storage system would be lost, releasing stored carbon back into the atmosphere. This would significantly worsen the already critical levels of atmospheric carbon dioxide, accelerating global warming even further. The continent's ice acts like a giant freezer, keeping greenhouse gases trapped and preventing them from fueling climate change. Losing this function means the planet would lose a vital ally in the fight against rising temperatures. The increase in carbon dioxide would amplify the greenhouse effect, leading to hotter temperatures, more extreme weather, and faster ice melt worldwide. This loss of Antarctica's carbon storage capacity highlights how interconnected Earth's systems are and how the melting of one region can have cascading effects on the global climate. Protecting Antarctica's ice isn't just about preserving a frozen wilderness. It's about maintaining a critical balance that supports life across the planet. Long-term geological effects. The sudden loss of Antarctica's ice would trigger significant long-term geological changes, reshaping the continent itself. The immense weight of the ice sheets currently presses down on the land, causing it to compress. When this weight is removed, the land begins to slowly rise in a process known as isostatic rebound or glacial isostatic adjustment. This uplift can cause earthquakes and volcanic activity as the Earth's crust adjusts to the change. Over thousands of years, this rebound could alter coastlines and local geography, creating new landscapes where ice once dominated. These geological shifts add complexity to Antarctica's fragile environment, impacting ecosystems and potentially human activities. Interestingly, the land beneath Antarctica could rise by up to nearly a kilometer in some areas once the ice is gone. This process also influences sea levels locally and globally as the rising land changes water distribution. The rebound effect reminds us that Antarctica's ice is not just a frozen mass, but a dynamic force shaping the very ground beneath it. Understanding these long-term consequences helps us grasp the full impact of losing Antarctica's ice, not only for today but for many generations to come. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the incredible impact of Antarctica's ice melting. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on the latest tech and science insights, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss an update from InnoVision Tech. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell us what surprised you the most or what topics you want us to explore next. Together, let's keep exploring the future of technology and our changing planet. Nuclear weapons have shaped global politics for over 7 decades, with over 12,000 warheads spread across just 10 countries today. The staggering power locked within these arsenals is enough to destroy the world multiple times over. Yet, despite this, many people don't know which nation truly holds the most powerful nuclear force. Here's a question for you. Do you know which country leads the world in nuclear weapons and why it matters? Russia. When it comes to nuclear weapons, Russia stands out as the most powerful country in the world, not just because of its sheer number of warheads, but also due to the sophistication and diversity of its arsenal. As of 2025, Russia possesses approximately 5,449 nuclear warheads, which include deployed, reserved, and retired weapons. This massive stockpile gives Russia a strategic edge, allowing it to maintain a formidable deterrent against any potential threats. What makes Russia's nuclear capability even more significant is its investment in a wide range of delivery systems, from intercontinental ballistic missiles to submarine-launched ballistic missiles and strategic bombers. This multi-layered approach ensures that its nuclear forces remain resilient and capable of responding under various scenarios. Additionally, Russia continues to modernize its arsenal, developing new missile technologies and hypersonic weapons that could potentially outpace current missile defense systems. The country's nuclear doctrine also emphasizes the possibility of using nuclear weapons in response to conventional threats, which adds a layer of complexity to global strategic stability. Russia's dominance in nuclear weapons is not just about numbers, but also about maintaining a credible and flexible deterrent that can adapt to evolving military technologies and geopolitical realities. This combination of quantity, quality, and strategic planning firmly places Russia at the top of the list when discussing the most powerful nuclear nations on the planet today. The United States. When discussing nuclear powerhouses, the United States is impossible to overlook. With an estimated 5,277 nuclear warheads, the United States holds the second largest nuclear arsenal globally, combining both quantity and cutting-edge technology. What sets the United States apart is not just the number of warheads, but the sophistication of its delivery systems, which include land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, and strategic bombers. This triad ensures that the United States maintains a robust and flexible nuclear deterrent capable of responding to a wide range of threats. Beyond the sheer firepower, the United States' nuclear strategy is deeply integrated with its network of allies, with weapons deployed in allied countries such as Turkey, Germany, and Italy, extending its strategic reach. The United States also invests heavily in modernizing its nuclear forces, developing advanced missile defense systems and hypersonic weapons to maintain technological superiority. This modernization effort is crucial in an era where global threats are evolving rapidly. Moreover, the United States nuclear doctrine emphasizes deterrence and the prevention of nuclear conflict through a credible threat of retaliation, which has shaped international security dynamics for decades. The combination of advanced technology, strategic alliances, and a diversified arsenal makes the United States a dominant nuclear power, capable of influencing global geopolitics and maintaining a delicate balance of power. Its nuclear capabilities continue to be a cornerstone of international security, underscoring why the United States remains a central player in discussions about nuclear strength and deterrence. China. China's nuclear arsenal is no longer a secret kept in the shadows. It's rapidly transforming into a major force on the global stage. Currently estimated to have around 600 nuclear warheads, China is aggressively expanding and modernizing its stockpile, with experts predicting this number could double by 2030. What makes China's nuclear program particularly intriguing is its focus on both quantity and technological advancement. Unlike some nuclear powers that rely heavily on legacy systems, China is investing in new missile technologies, including hypersonic glide vehicles and improved submarine-launched ballistic missiles, which enhance its second strike capability. This modernization reflects China's broader strategic goal to secure a credible deterrent that can stand up to the nuclear giants like the United States and Russia. Additionally, China's nuclear doctrine emphasizes a no-first-use policy, meaning it pledges to use nuclear weapons only in retaliation, which adds a unique dimension to its nuclear posture. However, the rapid growth and modernization of its arsenal have raised concerns among other nations, fueling regional tensions, especially in Asia. China's expanding nuclear capabilities are not just about military strength, but also about shaping geopolitical influence and asserting itself as a dominant global power. As it continues to develop its nuclear forces, the balance of power in the nuclear world is shifting, making China a critical player to watch in the coming decades. This evolving landscape challenges existing arms control frameworks and underscores the urgent need for renewed diplomatic efforts worldwide. France. When we talk about nuclear deterrence, France often flies under the radar compared to the giants, yet its approach is remarkably unique and highly effective. With approximately 290 nuclear warheads, France maintains a policy of strict sufficiency, meaning it possesses just enough to ensure a credible deterrent without engaging in an arms race. This isn't about matching the United States or Russia warhead for warhead. It's about guaranteeing its national security through a compact, potent force. The backbone of France's nuclear capability is its airborne and submarine-launched components, primarily focusing on its advanced, nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines. These submarines are designed to be undetectable, providing an assured second strike capability that makes any first strike against France unthinkable. This commitment to an independent nuclear deterrent is deeply rooted in French foreign policy, emphasizing strategic autonomy and its role as a significant global power. Despite its smaller arsenal, France invests heavily in modernizing its warheads and delivery systems to ensure their reliability and effectiveness. Its nuclear forces are a cornerstone of its defense strategy, providing an ultimate guarantee against aggression. This philosophy allows France to punch above its weight in international affairs, demonstrating that nuclear power isn't solely about the largest numbers, but also about strategic precision and unwavering commitment. France's focused, sophisticated, and independent nuclear deterrent showcases a powerful model for national security in a complex world. The United Kingdom. The United Kingdom's nuclear arsenal may be smaller than some of the other global powers, but it carries immense strategic weight. With around 225 nuclear warheads, the UK focuses on maintaining a minimum credible deterrent, ensuring it has just enough firepower to dissuade any potential aggressor without engaging in an arms race. Central to this deterrent is the Trident program, which deploys nuclear missiles exclusively on 4 Vanguard-class submarines. These submarines operate stealthily beneath the oceans, providing a secure second strike capability that guarantees retaliation, even if the UK's land-based forces were compromised. This submarine-based strategy is crucial to the UK's defense doctrine, emphasizing survivability and reliability. The British government has consistently invested in modernizing its nuclear forces, upgrading warheads and delivery systems to keep pace with evolving threats and technological advancements. Unlike some nuclear powers that maintain a broad arsenal, the UK's approach is highly focused, balancing deterrence with international arms control commitments. This careful calibration reflects the UK's role as a responsible nuclear power, committed to global security while safeguarding its national interests. The UK's nuclear strategy also plays a significant role in its alliances, particularly with the United States, where cooperation on nuclear technology and intelligence strengthens both countries' defense postures. Ultimately, the UK's nuclear forces, though modest in size, deliver a powerful message. Deterrence doesn't require overwhelming numbers, but rather precision, resilience, and unwavering commitment. India. India's nuclear arsenal is a fascinating blend of strategic restraint and growing capability. With around 180 nuclear warheads, India has steadily built its nuclear forces while maintaining a policy of no first use, which means it pledges to use nuclear weapons only in retaliation. This doctrine reflects India's emphasis on deterrence rather than aggression, aiming to prevent conflict while ensuring national security. India's nuclear program is closely tied to its complex regional dynamics, particularly its long-standing rivalry with Pakistan and concerns about China's expanding arsenal. To maintain credible deterrence, India has invested in a diverse range of delivery systems including land-based missiles, aircraft and submarine-launched ballistic missiles, which together form a robust nuclear triad. This triad enhances India's second strike capability, ensuring that even if its land-based forces were compromised, it could still respond decisively. India has also been modernizing its nuclear forces, developing new missile technologies and improving command and control systems to enhance reliability and safety. Despite its relatively smaller arsenal compared to global superpowers, India's nuclear strategy is carefully calibrated to balance deterrence, regional stability, and international norms. The country's commitment to no first use and its focus on credible minimum deterrence set it apart from many other nuclear states. India's nuclear journey highlights how a growing power can use strategic nuclear weapons not just for defense, but also as a tool to shape geopolitical influence and maintain peace in a volatile region. Pakistan. Pakistan's nuclear arsenal is a critical element in South Asia's security landscape, with an estimated 170 nuclear warheads designed primarily as a deterrent against its regional rival, India. Unlike many nuclear powers that emphasize global reach, Pakistan's nuclear strategy is, intensely focused on regional dynamics where the threat perception is immediate and high. Pakistan has developed a range of delivery systems, including short-range ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and tactical nuclear weapons, which are believed to be designed for battlefield use. This tactical approach adds a layer of complexity to the region's security, as it lowers the threshold for nuclear use in conflict scenarios. Pakistan's nuclear doctrine is less transparent than some other countries, but it is widely understood to rely on ambiguity and deterrence through the threat of escalation. The country continues to modernize its arsenal, investing in missile technology and expanding its nuclear infrastructure despite international pressure and sanctions. Pakistan's nuclear capabilities have significant implications for global non-proliferation efforts, as its arsenal is closely tied to ongoing tensions and periodic conflicts with India. The presence of tactical nuclear weapons and the volatile nature of regional politics make South Asia one of the most sensitive nuclear flashpoints in the world. Pakistan's nuclear program, really underscores how nuclear weapons can shape not just global power balances but also deeply affect regional security and diplomacy. Understanding Pakistan's nuclear posture is essential to grasping the broader challenges of nuclear deterrence and stability in one of the world's most volatile regions. Israel. Israel's nuclear capability is one of the most secretive and strategically ambiguous in the world, yet it plays a crucial role in Middle Eastern geopolitics. Believed to possess around 90 nuclear warheads, Israel has never officially confirmed its arsenal, maintaining a policy of deliberate ambiguity, often referred to as nuclear opacity. This approach serves multiple purposes. It deters potential adversaries while avoiding the political fallout of an explicit nuclear declaration. Israel's nuclear forces are thought to rely heavily on a triad of delivery systems, including land-based missiles, aircraft, and submarine-launched cruise missiles, ensuring a credible second strike capability. The country's nuclear posture is shaped by its unique security environment, surrounded by neighbors with whom it has had a history of conflict. This has driven Israel to develop a robust deterrent as a means of survival and strategic leverage. Despite the secrecy, Israel's nuclear arsenal is widely recognized as a significant factor in maintaining a fragile balance of power in the region. Its ambiguous stance complicates arms control efforts, but simultaneously contributes to regional stability by discouraging direct military confrontations. Israel's nuclear strategy highlights how power can be projected not only through open displays but also through calculated uncertainty, making it a fascinating case study in modern nuclear deterrence. North Korea. North Korea's nuclear program has become one of the most alarming and unpredictable factors in global security today. With an estimated 50 nuclear warheads, North Korea has rapidly developed its nuclear capabilities, despite international sanctions and diplomatic efforts to curb its ambitions. What makes North Korea especially concerning is not just the size of its arsenal, but the aggressive pace at which it tests new weapons and missile technologies, including intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of reaching distant targets. The regime's nuclear strategy appears to be focused on securing regime survival and deterring external intervention, using its nuclear arsenal as a powerful bargaining chip on the world stage. Unlike established nuclear powers, North Korea's approach is marked by secrecy, unpredictability, and a willingness to provoke, which adds volatility to regional and global security. Its nuclear tests and missile launches often coincide with political tensions, heightening fears of escalation. Moreover, North Korea's continued development of miniaturized warheads and delivery systems challenges existing defense measures and complicates efforts toward denuclearization. Despite numerous diplomatic talks and sanctions, the country remains steadfast in advancing its nuclear program, making it a persistent threat. Understanding North Korea's nuclear posture is crucial for grasping the complexities of modern nuclear deterrence and the challenges of maintaining peace in East Asia and beyond. Its nuclear ambitions remind the world how nuclear weapons can be wielded not just as tools of war, but as instruments of political power and survival. South Africa. South Africa holds a unique place in the history of nuclear weapons, not because of the size of its arsenal, but because of its remarkable decision to dismantle it entirely. During the 1980s, South Africa developed a small but sophisticated nuclear weapons program, producing 6 nuclear devices. This was a significant achievement for a country facing intense internal and external pressures during the apartheid era. However, what truly sets South Africa apart is its unprecedented choice to voluntarily give up its nuclear weapons in the early 1990s, becoming the first nation to completely dismantle its nuclear arsenal and join the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons as a non-nuclear state. This bold move was driven by a desire to rejoin the international community and promote peace and stability in a region fraught with conflict. South Africa's disarmament stands as a powerful example of how a country can reverse its nuclear ambitions for the greater good. Today, South Africa advocates for nuclear non-proliferation and disarmament globally, emphasizing diplomacy over deterrence. Its story challenges the notion that nuclear weapons are essential for national security, and offers hope that disarmament is possible even in tense geopolitical climates. South Africa's journey from nuclear development to complete disarmament remains a compelling chapter in the global conversation about the future of nuclear weapons and international peace. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the world's most powerful nuclear arsenals here on InnoVision Tech. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss our latest tech and innovation updates. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell us which nuclear fact surprised you the most or what topics you want us to explore next. Stay curious, stay informed, and join us as we continue to explore the cutting edge of technology together.